Tribal Health and Human Services Department of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribes is proud to present Good Medicine, a program dedicated to the wellness of the Flathead Nation. The mission is summarized quite simply: a healthier people, a stronger nation. We will strive to make Good Medicine a reliable source of ideas and information about health issues so that everyone can make informed decisions about their own lifestyle and health care. You will meet health professionals, tribal government and spiritual leaders, and interesting people from the tribal community discussing important health issues that profoundly affect us all.
Welcome to Good Medicine. I'm your host, Tonka Howard. I hope everybody's out there is having a good springtime. Maybe it's cold, maybe it's warm, whatever happened to be the time of the day or night. And I hope it's having a good time out there. Good Medicine is pleased to have with us today Nakoa Heavyrunner. He is a Montana producer of Native American music. He's here to share his positive story of natives in the music industry. Powwow. He does round dance, does a bunch of other different things. We're going to touch upon those topics here shortly. And I've been pleased to grow up around him in the Fort Belknap area. I'm pleased to call him my friend, see him grow as a person, musically, artistically, and I'm going to introduce him now. Nakoa Heavyrunner, thank you for coming on the show. Yeah. I appreciate you being here in a native way. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Right on.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, how old you are, things like that?
Yeah, sure. I grew up on the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation, 30 years old. And, well, actually when I was younger, up till about age 7, I grew up in Fort Peck, which is kind of where my mother grew up. And then from there, she married Donovan, which is my stepfather. And I grew up from age 8 all the way up through high school and stuff in Fort Belknap, which is where I'm enrolled as well.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's where I grew up. And then, but after I got out of high school and stuff, I moved off the res and moved to Wyoming for about 6 years. Then I moved home for a little while. Then I moved to Canada for about a year. And but now we're living in Havre, Montana. My wife's going to school, and that's where we're currently residing.
Do you have kids as well?
Yeah. I have 4 children, and my oldest is 11, and my youngest is 19 months. He's the boss. Kind of rules the roost.
I understand that. Yeah. Great. So, how long have you been singing on the powwow and round dance circuit?
Well, I started singing when I was really young. One of my Uncle Lorne, he helped kind of raise me when I was really young. And he actually took me around to powwows with him. And I was actually still in diapers, but he took me with him, which is, kind of rare for an uncle, to really take on a nephew like that. And he was really into singing, and he traveled all over, the powwow trail. And so I grew up around it, always being around it. And then I just, as I started getting older and stuff, I really kind of got into it. And then when I hit my teenage, about 12, getting into teenage years, I quit for a while. And about 3 years there, I just lost interest, got into other things. And then about age 14 or so, I picked it back up, started singing powwow. And that's really where I guess the roots of my music really stems from, is with the powwow music.
Sure.
Yeah.
You've been around it all your life, and that's good. Like your uncle took you out, and that's how a lot of native cultures are. We kind of extended families take care of each other.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, do you produce your own music?
Yeah. And I first started. The first thing I still have, our powwow group was called Black Bull Juniors.
Okay.
And we did. One of my good friends, he had this little mini disc recorder at the time. We always took it with us every powwow. And pretty soon I got to listening to it, and it was really good quality. Really, to me, I thought it was good enough to be, CD quality. So I took it, and I met up with a producer out of Idaho, and he was able to get it, onto computer and get it mastered up. And that's kind of really where I stemmed into kind of the producing aspect of it. And I come in and, I even though I wasn't the one turning the knobs and mixing the sound, but I watched the whole process come from a mini disc onto a disc, and, how he kind of mixed it up, mastered it. And then, I really, from that point on, I really got interested in producing. And so that was that's where it started with, was I produced that first Black Bull album, power album.
Sure.
And then as I was working, I was doing a lot of seasonal work, construction and stuff like that. And starting in about '03, in the fall of '03, I had a bunch of round dance songs I had saved up. I started actually composing music when I was 14. And so that's when I started composing, well, not only power songs, but I started composing round dance music. And I just kind of put them on the shelf. I kept them and I remembered them. And then, so in about 2003, I started, recording them. And I really didn't, that's the only place, where I knew to start, was just record it. I didn't know how to get it to a finished product, but I, I wanted to get it recorded. So I recorded all these songs, got it all recorded, and then, it took a long time. I mean, quite a few months just to learn how to get it, off of this recorder onto a computer, onto a disc. And the whole thing was a learning process. I mean, it really was. But I really did. I started at ground zero with no knowledge of how to do it. But my drive was so strong. It was something I was just determined to try to put a CD out, And so we did that. We put the CD. I finally got, learned how to get it on. I got a final product, and from there, my brother had just got out of the Navy, and so we sat down, and I said, hey, I got this CD, and we should try to go sell them, and see if people. So no one knew who we were, nobody. We went to all the reses, and who are you and where are you from, and we'd have to tell people, but we carried a little Walkman around, and we let them listen to it.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, here, just take a listen.
Cool.
And pretty soon, more and more people, they started buying, and so we started getting real excited then, because now we had a little bit of money to be able to get into different projects and stuff like that. So we just, I guess that's where it really stemmed from, was right there,
Yeah, technology's changed a lot in the past few years, and just to be able to learn how to do all those software programs, it's a struggle. Because I myself in the media situation, I have to go through what you're talking about. It's a struggle, and self-taught is a commendable thing. This how far back I go. We used to record on tape. And actually sell tapes. That was a long time ago. A drum group I used to sing with, but CDs are things now. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good story. You persevered, and because like we were talking before, it's easier just to be like, well, there's this obstacle. Oh, let that just get in your way, and just say, oh, I don't need to do it, but you can bring yourself up. That's a good thing. So, what's the name of your label?
Oh, the name of my label is Eagle Calf Records, and some people might wonder where that name comes from, but it was actually because I'm half Blackfeet, and that was an Indian name I was given by the late Mary Grounds when I was very, very little. And so it is a name that that I've carried my whole life, and so I wanted to incorporate it into something that means a lot to me, which is my music. So I named it Eagle Calf Records. But as far as it being a label, I really got out of the label business. So, because what a label is it's ownership in music. So if you record somebody and you're the record label, then you have ownership in their music. But also, you're the one having to produce the album and cover all the costs. So really, it doesn't cost the artist nothing. You as a producer, as a record label, it's your label's responsibility to cover all the costs that it costs to get the project made. Not only that, it's a label's responsibility to promote them. So, and you know, and so a lot comes with that. And so, you know, like when I first got started, I was wearing a lot of hats. Like, you know, I wasn't just a recorder, engineer, you know, I was marketing, I was, you know, graphic designer, I was the, all of it. And it's really, it become too much, you know, like to be able to have to wear every single hat on every stage of the process that it takes to make a CD, to sell a CD. And I wore all those hats. So finally I kind of stepped back from the label, you know, where I don't take no ownership, and it's just a recording company now. So I really just got into the record, so I can focus on the recording. I don't have to market nobody, I don't, you know, and the only stuff that, well, we still market, you know, like my own music, you know, but as far as other people's music, I just provide a service for them now, you know, so they can come to me and I'll record them, I'll mix them, I'll master them, design them, and give them a finished product. But it's up to them to move it. You know? So it's really, I'm there to help people that want to self-produce. You know, they want to produce their own music. You know, so I'm just kind of that, you know.
And you have a number and a website for people who want to contact you about your story or anything? And what's that number? Your phone number?
The phone number? 406-399-4309.
You have a website if anyone wants to contact you about your story?
The website's kind of getting updated. You know, it's been a while since we really got that all updated, but it's www.eaglecalf.com. But I can still be contacted through the website and everything. So yeah, it's still up and running. We're trying to get it rearranged and stuff right now.
So I assume you're a song composer, because you can't use other people's songs, right? When you put them down. So do you do a lot of your own song composing?
Yeah, that's one of the things. At 14, I started composing, and once I started composing, you know, it took a little time to get, you know, some confidence going, because, you know, like, you know, it's you know, a lot of people are shy about that. You make a song and you got to show it to somebody, and you're kind of waiting for that feedback and to see what, you know, is it, you know, be honest, is it okay? You know what I mean? And
I can understand.
I
remember being your same age and about 14, what you're talking about, and just being called upon to sing at the POW with a group of other people, and it feels like all the attention's on you. And you're like, oh, like if you're shy or something, it's hard to get out. So I can understand. Myself, I wasn't a composer at that age, but if you were, I can see what you're talking about there.
And it took a little while, like, you know, even the boys I was singing with, you know, at that age, even them really didn't take interest. But of course, you know, even as far back as then, the songs weren't really, you know, like the best songs. You know, you're just learning how to compose. You got to start somewhere. And so like the boys, they weren't too interested. You know, hey, here's my new song, and all right, you know.
I've been through that. So how many albums have you produced then?
Well, of my own music, I produced 8 albums. My 8th one just came out about 3 weeks ago, and but I've also produced since, like I was telling you, since I've come into the recording business, like I got out of the label business, but you know, as soon as I, you know, really focused on the recording business of it, I have produced other groups, like so like
we were talking about earlier.
Like I did a group out of Wyoming, Arapaho Nation. Actually did a CD for Young Grey Horse out of Browning. I did a live round dance for some people out of Saskatchewan that wanted to record a live round dance. And so I've done other projects outside of my own stuff. You know, I did Star Blanket Juniors out of Canada, and so I just, you know, I really enjoy that, you know, producing other people's music too. You know.
Cool. This is a really cool story, and we have to take a short pause here for a public service announcement. We'll come back with a few more questions, talk about some of your songs, talk about some other stuff, and you're willing to share some music with us after the break here. So you've been watching Good Medicine, and we're going to stay tuned for this public service announcement. Stay tuned. We're here with Nakoa Heavyrunner, Native American music producer. We'll be right back.
Green power. Do you understand it? It comes from our Earth's forces to generate future energy. The coming generations will either reap the benefits or pay the price for decisions made today. Are you willing to invest for the future? Only $3, $5, or $7 per month makes a huge difference for our children. Call 883-7900 for information. We'll leave a legacy. It's up to all of us what that legacy will be.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Tonka Howard, and you're watching Good Medicine. We're here with Nakoa Heavyrunner, a Native American music producer. He does round dance, powwow music, and contemporary music as well. And he's willing to come and share a few songs with us later in the program, but he's sharing his awesome, positive story. And again, I'm really glad that he could come on the show and share with us his story and what's going on with him. I'm proud to say he's one of my friends. I see him on the powwow circuit. Sometimes he lets me sing with him when I'm not all forced out or anything. But he's here. And again, Nakoa, appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what your motivation for sharing your music with everybody is and your producing of music?
Yeah, well, as far as the motivation, it's always, kind of been a belief that, that music is the one thing that really keeps us connected to not only one another, but to everything. Like some of the stories, we had songs for everything long ago. Mm-hmm. Like even for the tree, we had songs for animals. Even different animals had a song. And it's the one thing that really, really kept us connected to everything and everyone. And one thing that I know, I've gone through some stuff in my life, and music is one of the things that really has helped me through, even some really tough times. Mm-hmm. And in learning that, when I would sing, that feeling that I got, I started to understand on an intuitive level, not so much intellectually, but that it can affect other people. Mm-hmm. It can affect the way somebody feels. And I've come to realize that nothing is more important than that you feel good. That should be number one priority when you wake up in the morning, mm-hmm. is that you got to choose to feel good. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I know that has helped me anyway is that music. And throughout, that I've been doing this now for, like we said, this is my 8th album. Mm-hmm. And I've had the joy and honor and blessing to be able to go to a lot of different reservations and meet a lot of good people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people shared with me that, maybe they went through a tough time and whatever, and they would tell me, that this music at some point really helped them. Yeah. And I can relate to that because music has helped me, yeah. Through different tough times and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I guess is a good motivation, is that if it feels good, then it could make someone else feel good, yeah. And to share that, oh, yeah. And it's all about feeling good,
yeah. I agree. Yeah, like a lot of people when they come around the drum, like live, they can feel that power from
yeah.
the drum and from those people singing, or a round dance competition, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But times are changing nowadays.
Yeah.
And the technology is there for you to share in a different format. So
yeah.
That's what I like about what you're doing. A lot of people don't have the courage either to do it, like putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about when I was a kid, and even just putting myself out there to sing in a powwow, it was hard. Some psychological way, or maybe I was
yeah.
shy or whatever it may be,
yeah.
but to actually put yourself out there, it's commendable.
Yeah.
Nakoa. Yeah. And what's really cool is Nakoa today is willing to share a few songs with us, so you can see a little bit of the magic that I think he has. So we're going to go over to Nakoa, sharing a few songs with us right now.
Composing music is truly a gift, and it's a gift that can be shared with a lot of people in a really good way. And this song that I'm going to share with you, it's titled "Birds of a Feather." And, one of my relatives recently got married, and they phoned me up and they invited me to the wedding, and they were getting married down in Hawaii. And I was really excited to go to Hawaii. Never been there, never been off the mainland. And in that, a song came. I like to say that a song came because, people say, how did you make that song or something? But really, to make a song, you need to listen. You're more or less learning it. And this is a song that come, for them in their marriage, and I called it Birds of a Feather. And I'd like to share that with you now. Well, han, well, oh, hey, hey, hey. Well, han, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, hey. Well, oh, hey, hey, hey. Well, ha, well, 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 hey, ha, well, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, hey, oh. Long ago I knew that I wanted you. I never thought it would be here our way. Standing here telling you I'll be true. Just like birds of a feather, that our hearts dance together forever, my love. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Way, oh, han, way, oh, hey, hey, hey. Way, oh, han, hey, oh, hey. Hey, oh, hey, hey. Way, oh, hey, hey. Way, oh, ha, way, ah, way, oh. Way, ah, hey, ha. Hey, oh, hey, hey. Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh. Long ago I knew that I wanted you. I never thought it would be here our way. Standing here telling you I'll be true. Just like birds of a feather, let our hearts dance together forever, my love. Ay-oh, hey, ay, oh. Long ago I knew that I wanted you. I never thought it would be here our way. Standing here telling you I'll be true. Just like birds of a feather, let our hearts dance together forever, my love. Ay-oh, hey, 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 oh. Share. Came off one of my older albums. The album was called Brothers. And when I was composing this song, I was, I guess picturing and envisioning a guy that was, maybe separated from his significant other. And he more or less like, he was number one. And like he felt like he was number one to his significant other, and as time went on, things changed, and he wasn't number one anymore. So he was feeling pretty alone, and stuff like that. And the song is entitled, it's called Number Two. Remember this.
one in your heart, number one to you, Yahweh. I didn't know what to do when you told me I was number two, number two, number two to you. Ayo, hey, 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 oh. Ayo, ayo, hey, we are, ayo, hey, we are, hey, oh, ayo, hey, we are, we are, hey, ayo, hey, we are, we are, ayo, hey, we are, hey, oh, ayo, hey, ayo, hey, ayo. I remember long ago I was number one in your heart, number one to you, Yahweh. I didn't know what to do when you told me I was number two, number two, number two to you. Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh. Hey, we are, we are, hey, we are, hey, oh, hey, we are, hey, we are, hey, we are, we are, hey, we are, we oh, hey, ayo, hey, oh. I remember long ago I was number one in your heart, number one to you, Yahweh. I didn't know what to do when you told me I was number two, number two, number two to you. Ayo, hey, ayo. Yeah, ayo, hey. We are, we ayo, hey. We are, we oh, ayo, hey. We are, we are, hey, ayo, hey. We are, we ayo, hey. We are, we oh, ayo, hey. Ayo, hey, ayo. I remember long ago I was number one in your heart, number one to you, Yahweh. I didn't know what to do when you told me I was number two, number two, number two to you. Ayo, hey, ayo.
Good medicine, your we hope you watch the programs to stay informed about your health care. And we'd like to hear from you about how we're doing. Please direct any comments or suggestions you have to us. You can reach us at